Don't waste your life doing things that you hate. The average lifespan for a person is 79 years, and most of us are projected to spend a total of 17 years on screens and devices. On top of sleep, work, and anything else, we don't really have much of a life to live right now. A lot of the people in my generation grew up watching the internet celebrities and influencers in general, pretty much portraying the ideal life. And then we see it on the internet, and understandably, I think we get jealous of it. But instead of turning that jealous energy into something and working for something and making yourself better to actually achieve that lifestyle, we sit down and then complain about how unfair life is and then scroll on social media for 2 hours. But honestly, it's not really that unfair. To an extent, I would say that it's your own fault. And in the future, when you're stuck living a boring life that you don't want to live, it'll be nobody's fault but your own. I would say it's all a mentality, and I kind of figured that out, and I want to share exactly what I learned and specific examples about that. But most of us grew up in a household where our parents worked a typical 9 to 5 job, and I think that was the standard that our parents had for us as well. But because of social media and the internet in general, I feel like a lot of us are seeing different options that we can choose. And because of this, the 9 to 5 lifestyle that our parents really wanted us to dive into just kind of seemed a little boring to us. Looking around at the average lifestyle, I would hate to live that way. Working until you're retired, stressing over your bills, I feel like anybody would hate that lifestyle. And then I would go on the internet and I would see a bunch of the lifestyles that other people would deem as impossible to actually obtain. I think people would see a successful person on the internet and just assume that they got lucky, which is why it's so difficult to just try nowadays. And yeah, that's true. A lot of the people did get lucky, but if you don't put in the work, you're never going to get lucky. But seeing a lifestyle like this and deeming it as impossible is the reason why a lot of people live a boring life. Because a lot of us have a boring, depressive mentality about these things. Since we think that these lifestyles are unobtainable due to its impossibility, I would say that we conform to the boring life that our parents predetermined for us due to that mentality. I know that for me specifically, I've been around a lot of people with a depressive mentality about things, where they won't try new things, they don't feel like it's possible to do certain things, and they kind of just go with the flow. It's like they're trapped in a box and they feel like it's impossible to escape it. And I don't want to be corny and talk about the Matrix stuff, but in all actuality, there is a box that a lot of us live in that feels impossible to escape from. And once you escape from that box, you actually live life the way you want to live. But like I said, I've been around a lot of people with a depressive mentality and just seeing how it affects me just being around that. And I can kind of share what that's done to me personally. I think in the past when I wasn't as strong-minded, I would allow these people to kind of deter me from doing what I actually wanted to do. Because that depressive mentality made me feel like it wasn't cool to try new things, or it wasn't cool to actually just try to escape that box that I talked about. And so I did the boring thing and just kind of gave up on the things that I actually wanted to do so I can do what the world thought was cool, I guess. But then eventually I realized that I don't really care about any of that stuff, and I started to do my own thing. But I know specifically the moment where I realized that some of the people around me do have that mentality and that can actually affect me was when I was talking to one of my friends about college. I told them that I wanted to eventually escape that trap that the government set where you pay $100,000 of debt on college just to follow a job that isn't your passion. And I told them that I do want to go to college, but to avoid that trap, I just wanted to go for free. And I kid you not, they look me in the face and say, "That's a stupid plan, that's not possible." And for a split second in my head, I thought to myself, maybe they're right. Who am I to think that I can break out of that trap? And then after that split second, I realized how depressive that actually was. First and foremost, if that's what I actually believed, I would do everything in my power to get out of that depressive mentality because who wants to live and realize that they have no control over anything? And secondly, why would I let this person's opinions deter me from actually doing what I wanted to do and stop trying? Thankfully, I did not let that weigh me down, and I did exactly what I said I was going to do. Fortunately, I'm going to college for free, and I'm going to pursue any dream, any ambition, any goals that I have. And I think that story is so important because in the past, I would let that way of thinking actually get to me. But now I'm completely different. And I think that speaks volumes on the actual mentality shift that I had. Like I said before, it's all just a mentality. There is not a single successful person that had a depressive mentality. There is not a single successful person that didn't believe that they could do something. Even if people said it was stupid, even if people said it was impossible, even if people said Just don't do it. Not a single successful person let that get to them. And becoming that strong-minded just comes from confidence in yourself, knowing that if you want to do something, you're going to accomplish it. It's also just actually wanting to do something. Having that strong-mindedness is what's actually going to get you from living a boring life to living the life that you want to live. The difference between waking up and loving every single day and then waking up and just dragging yourself to work and dragging yourself to do the things that you don't want to do is simply just being strong-minded. Having thick skin and confidence in yourself that you're actually going to accomplish things is the most important thing that you can do for yourself. But yeah, I don't want to live a boring life. I don't think that's the life that God planned for me. I don't think that's what I'm here for. And being honest, I feel like anybody that's on this section of YouTube that watches these type of videos, I don't think God has that plan for you either. I want more for myself, and I want more for you as well. And if you're not motivated by now to do whatever you want to do, then please get motivated, because you can wait for as long as you want for the experience, for the materials, but time is not going to wait for you. A boring life is not going to wait for you. It's going to be there instantly unless you do something about it. It's just a matter of putting in whatever work is going to get you to where you want to go. I've got to keep putting in the work, and so do you. But truthfully, I know that you can do it. As humans, we all have the ability to do it. It's just a matter of tapping into that. Thank you for watching this video, and if you like videos like this, make sure you subscribe and leave a like. See you guys next time. Peace out.